first and foremost, I think my top accomplishment is my children. I think that my life really changed when I became a mother because being, again, a person of color, so much came back to me about my parents and how they raised me and how I try to be a good parent, and what a tremendous honor and responsibility it is to help guide and shape another human being to hopefully have important impact on the world, right? Like, it's not enough for me to have kids that are going to be successful. I want them to feel like they have an abundance of riches that they feel that they can share with people that are less fortunate than them. And if I am able to do that, and when I see them being kind to other people and gracious and whatnot, I feel that that really is sort of my biggest accomplishment, that I've raised human beings to have that sensibility. So that's first and foremost. I think that another big accomplishment I have is being hopefully a supportive partner. I don't think that people talk enough about the fact that being a wife and a mother and someone who has a career is really hard, and actually being an effective partner in this time when women's roles are changing so much is also really challenging. I think it's confusing for women, and especially for men that we look to kind of be that rock, in the family, who is oftentimes the main provider, and to have a confusion of roles to be able to deal with that. And I think that my second biggest accomplishment is being able to hopefully do that with grace and patience, because I don't think that it's easy with all the demands that I have had in my career, and with children screaming and all the time, to then say, yes, I want to be romantic and just be with you, when the, meaning my husband, and devote time to being part of a unit, when in fact, all I really wanted to do was just have time alone. So that has been another huge accomplishment, is I think to be able to sacrifice, if you will, some of myself to be that strong partner for the sake of both my partner as well as my children and my family unit. I think my third biggest accomplishment is really to live in the moment. And it's something that is so hard for me, but it's something that I remember my mom saying to me all the time, is that life goes more quickly than we imagine it. And when I look back at my children and see how quickly they've grown, and I look back at my career and how quickly it went by, I realized that all those things that I was struggling with in my job and whatnot was really, in the big picture, maybe not worth all of the heartache and the anxiety, and the stress that I have devoted to it at the time. And so what I really try to do is now, as an accomplishment, really remind myself to live now and to appreciate this life, and what I can get out of it, and the joy that I can both receive and give. I think it is harder for a lot of Asian American, Pacific Islanders, and people of color to remember that, because we are trained in a lot of ways by our parents to look towards the future and to be secure and figure out what we can do later, rather than saying it is okay to actually to experience and enjoy our life now. So I'd have to say that that is an accomplishment that's really hard for me, but I struggle with all the time. In terms of my professional accomplishments, I am proud of a lot of the things that I did, because I was in a lot of roles where I was with people that were top of their class and top Ivy League schools or whatnot. And that was actually not my experience. I actually grew up in public school. I went to a public university. I didn't go to the best public university. I went to UC, but I didn't go to UC Berkeley, for example. And I really kind of just made my own way, and I think being able to work for the top global management consulting firm in the world, and be able to work for the people that are at the top of that firm, being the shareholder directors, and to have them take my advice and to train them and to have them trust me with some of their most important assets, in terms of what they are able to provide to the business world, was really an honor for me. So I feel like I won the employment lottery by even being at that role at McKinsey. I think working for Yahoo in the heyday of when Yahoo was just coming up in the internet generation is something that I will always treasure and appreciate. And I think just trying to remember how precious life actually is like a huge accomplishment that I think that I work on every single day.